Libra, Libras, as we come out, somebody in your relationship, possibly you, okay, is feeling complacent. You're bored, okay? You're bored with the relationship. You're complacent about it. Maybe you're just dating and you're complacent about dating. You're not wanting to focus on emotions is what this is stating, okay? You may still be into the relationship, but you're not wanting to focus on the emotional health of the relationship. You're just kind of sitting there with your back against the tree and your arms crossed, okay? Not even recognizing the emotions. And it's not causing, you're not feeling good, they're not feeling good, Libras, because we have the Five of Pentacles in your primary position. And this can be a card of abandonment or feeling destitute, okay? This can be a card of feeling left out. You're out in the cold. You're staying together as a couple, okay? Notice these two people are together, but they are not happy with their life. They are not happy with their situation. They are not happy with their financial situation or their material situation. I mean, clearly look at they're in rags and they're cold. And there's no spiritual connection. They're actually outside of the church, okay? They don't feel spiritually connected at all. So something's going on in your relationships or in your dating life because you're not wanting to have the emotions and you're just sticking around and you're not happy. Neither of you are. Okay, so something's got to change, and you actually do change it because here we have the Chariot card. This is the card of Cancer. Emotions, okay, taking action on our emotions. That's what Cancers do. Okay, they are not afraid to be of service. They are not afraid to be of support, offer a shoulder to cry on, lend a helping hand, but they are always doing something, okay? They don't sit with their emotions like a lot of times like Pisces will sit with their emotions or Scorpio will push their emotions. Cancers will act on their emotions. So this is good actually because you're in this and you're actually going to be taking a warm approach to making adjustments is what this is saying. You or them, whomever you're with, okay, are going to be making changes. If you're not, I'm sensing you are in a relationship or a committed bond, or there's somebody there because neither of you are happy, all right? This is you not choosing to recognize, you or them not choosing to recognize the emotions, or maybe you recognize that there's a problem, like you're just ignoring it. So that's why I'm sensing you're not just out dating or single, okay? There's somebody in your life, there's somebody in your periphery. Even if you're single, there's still somebody that this is talking about. And you know who it is. So you're going to be making change. The Chariot is a card of swift, direct, and thought out, planned action. Okay, going for it. Okay, but taking the emotions with. My favorite thing about this card is I always talk about the Knight card. This is a Knight card. It represents our perceptions, not reality, our emotions and our perceptions. Okay. I'm not saying your emotions aren't real. I'm saying that our perceptions can sometimes cause our emotions, our emotional state. So this is a Knight card. This is also this, this material. I always forget the word when I'm looking at the card. This material, it has stars on it. And so it's representing the night sky, and so it means that he's taking his emotions with him and he's acting on his emotions. Okay. And this is going to cause you to have strength in your relationship. Okay. This is causing you to have trust. This is a card of trust and strength and recognizing each other's differences. Okay. These two people are different species, and they are recognizing and appreciating the differences in each other instead of letting the differences bother each other. They're appreciating them, okay, and they're building on them. Both of these people are in the most fair and best state that they could be in life. So the lion is a beautiful, strong, courageous lion, and she's a wonderful fair maiden. And so this is also stating that in terms of strength, you are whole within yourself, and you're giving your trust, and you're recognizing the differences. You're not being sad about the differences. Okay? You're not focusing on the differences. You're not worried about the differences. You're accepting them and building upon them together. In your crowning position, we have the 10 of Cups. This is the card of complete emotional fulfillment, right? The best emotional state. And we can get anywhere in life, at least I do believe that you can get anywhere in life in terms of material satisfaction and spiritual satisfaction, or in experience satisfaction. But it always is, you can be the best state of your life with all of those aspects and still feel lonely. Okay, now that's not a bad thing. Yes, you have to learn to be alone and be happy with yourself, obviously. But it's always more fun when somebody else is there. It's always more fun when you can bounce ideas off somebody and joke around and laugh and be sarcastic and just relax. Okay, so that's what this is stating. This is this comfort level. You've reached this comfort level. So whatever's happening here in the beginning of the month, Libras, you're making changes to adjust it so you can get here. And this causes you, in your near future, another 10 card, okay? 10s mean the pinnacle, the ending, the pinnacle. This means no worries, really. I mean, you're out and about in the community, you're materially in your life, you are feeling stable, financially stable, and there's a competence, okay? This card can also mean family gatherings. There's children here, and just being happy and content, okay? This is a card of success. And that's in your near future, so you're making some pretty... And Libra, you know what? You would make changes anyway, because you are very, out of all the air signs, I think you're probably the most social, and so you are really like a social butterfly, and you are, if you're a woman, your Libras are very feminine, and if you're a man, you're very social, and you know, this is your element, okay? And this is your element too, because you really are a giving entity, a giving person, and you're confident and stable within yourself, but you just kind of float around and like drop droplets of confidence and gold everywhere you go. And you're very, you don't like to stay in this state anyway. If you were here for 5 minutes, or a week at the most, you'd say, I don't like where I am emotionally. This relationship isn't working. We've got to make changes. But instead of leaving the relationship, like some people, you actually stay and make changes, okay? You make the appropriate emotional changes to move forward, and look where it gets you. Beautiful. Trust. Strength. Complete contentment and happiness. Success and joy in family. Okay? Libras, congratulations, because a lot of signs wouldn't handle that situation that way, and it's beautiful. I just want to read this because I always feel like I miss some keywords out. Hold on. Oh, this card can also just mean the home. Spending time at home with your family. So now in how you are feeling about the situation, Libra, we have the 3 of Swords. So you are worried still about something. Something's happening. Something's not sitting right with you. And we've all felt that before. Okay? Even if we want the best case scenario for a situation, sometimes there's just this nagging feeling that something's super off, or that you're not being treated right, or that you're kind of changing your personality to appease somebody. Just little things like that you do that slowly start chipping away at your soul, and then you realize that you just aren't happy. And it's, even if you're trying to make these changes, okay, we're still seeing success, but something's a little weird here, and you're feeling that. Okay, I'm not sensing that this is a breakup. I'm sensing success because you're making these changes, but I'm sensing that your thoughts keep coming here. Maybe you're not ready for full commitment yet. That could be. Okay? If you are in a committed bond, there is a lot of success here. You're definitely making the appropriate changes, or at least approaching your partner and talking about changes. But how you're feeling about the situation, you're definitely carrying something with you. And air signs can tend to do that, and so you'll retreat a little bit into your mental space, and you'll figure it out in your mental space. Maybe not with your partner, but you'll try to figure it out yourself. But it can cause conflicts because sometimes instead of not having communication, the partner actually needs communication, but that's not really how you operate. So anyway, something's going on here because this is how you are viewing the situation. Maybe you're worried about what they are doing. Maybe you're not feeling trustworthy of them. Maybe you're feeling that they are not being loyal. Okay, there's 3 swords here, not 2, there's 3. Okay. Now, how they are feeling the situation, okay, here we go. They might be really, despite your efforts, despite the success, okay, they may really be wanting to open up their options. Okay, if you're just starting to date, they're just going to go back to dating. You're just going to go back to dating. If you're in a committed bond, not long term, but if you've been dating a couple months or a year or so, you kind of fall into that rut, and then you start thinking, is the grass greener on the other side? So what's happening here, Libra, is they're thinking that and you're sensing that. Okay, you're trying to make changes. They may have been trying to make changes, but sometimes it just doesn't work. And I'm not saying this is a breakup. Okay, it can be, but I'm not saying that it has to be. What's happening and what you're thinking about, Libra, is in your hope and your fear position, what you need is balance. This is a card of balance, equality, equal giving and equal receiving. You can never have a relationship that is one-sided, where only one person is trying and the other person's not. Okay, there is always ebb and flow, yes, and I do always say that, but on the grand scale, over a long period of time, there has to be equality in giving and receiving. And so this is your hope. You're hoping that this situation is going to balance itself out. And then in your outcome position, we have the King of Cups. So it's seeming like the outcome of this reading is actually going to turn out okay. The King of Cups is a card of warmth and caring and emotional maturity, okay, emotional stability, and feeling fulfilled in life and ready to give. So whether this is your state at the end of the month, Libra, if you're single, that could be, or your relationship, or you could be involved with a water sign, and they're just going to be very prominent at the end of the month. It's going to be all about them. Okay, so that I'm not quite sure of, but something's fishy, but you're definitely doing the right actions to try to fix it. Okay, let's read an oracle card. Spirit and Universe, what are the overall messages and advice for Libras? For their love life in July 2016. A pook. And I think Virgos just barely got this. Virgos or Leos. This card means, here we go. This is speaking directly to you, Libras. Well, specifically to this reading. It says shape changer, good in bad, bad in good. Paradox, resolution. It is time for the resolution of seeming contradictions and paradoxes in the situation. Someone or some part of the situation is cloaked in confusion, and our muddled thoughts must be stripped away, revealing truth. We just need to think about it. The information we needed is now available to us. And as soon as we have that burst of insight and get it, it's time for us to make changes based on our newly clear understanding. Alternatively, It may be time for us to make a reality check on the good and bad labels that we put on things. Make a list of the good, possibly even surprising things about the situation, and another list about the bad ones. If you are not in the habit of seeing the good in the bad and the bad in the good, having preferred a black and white world rather than one with colors, you may need some help in learning how to do this well. And that's, you cannot live relationships in black and white. It's just not black and white. You have to learn to grow and evolve together in that gray space, because there's always moments of uncertainty, there's always moments of insecurity, and there's always moments of joy and success and companionship. And you have to learn to realize that it's not always like that all the time, and you have to work through the other times. Okay? All right. Thank you so much, Libra. Thank you for your comments and your shares and your subscribes. Thank you so much, Libra.